What's going on, Vault Dwellers? It's Top Ranking Noob, and I'm back at it again with another helpful video for Fallout 76. And hey, if you guys want to check out some cool Fallout 76 gear, make sure you head on over to U4GM. I'm going to be putting a link down in the description, along with the coupon code that's going to be saving you 5%. So it's the morning of January 29th, and right now the servers are down, at least for PC. I'm not too sure about PlayStation 4 or Xbox. But we got another patch going on right now, and I thought I'd take the time to highlight some of the key notes that I felt were important with this patch. Now, I'm not going to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. They actually address quite a bit of issues, which hopefully does help the stability and performance of the game overall. But I'm just going to be covering some of the highlights. To start off with, we see a very common bullet point that's been on pretty much every patch since launch. Stability. Fallout 76 game client and servers have received additional stability improvements. Again, we've seen this bullet point on every single patch so far, so we'll see how big of an effect this actually has this go around. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll only crash a couple of times a day. Now this, on the other hand, is quite a bit different. This is one of the things we were expecting to come. We got Demolition Expert, so this is a balance change. In the past, a fully upgraded Demolition Expert card would give you 100% extra damage, extra explosive damage. They've actually nerfed that down to 60%, so quite a bit. This is probably a good change because these explosive weapons were quite a bit overpowered, so that's really going to help with the balance of the overall game. Similarly, we got White Knight and Licensed Plumber. They've also been nerfed down. In the past, their condition loss would be reduced by 90% for your weapons and armor, for your piped weapons and your armor. Now they nerfed that down to where it's only going to do a 60% condition loss. In other words, just be prepared to do more repairs on your piped weapons and your armor. So here's another balance change that's going to have a big effect for a lot of players, and it's in regards to those two-shot explosive weapons. So to start off with, as far as the explosive legendary modifications, the damage has been reduced from 100% all the way down to 20%, so that's a huge change. Likewise, the two-shot legendary effect has been dumbed down from 100% damage all the way down to 25% damage. So for all those overpowered weapons out there, this is going to have a huge effect. I still think this is going to be a great change because they were overpowered, making the game way too simple. And a lot of people that were trying to grind, for example, White Springs, were having trouble actually getting hits on there because there were too many people running around with these two-shot explosive weapons and being inconsiderate, not allowing other people to do the grind as well. And to top it off, we got a few weapons where the explosive legendary mod has actually been removed. So that's going to include the Flamer, the Cryolator, the Plasma weapons, and the Laser weapons. Those are no longer going to be obtainable to have that explosive effect. Now here's a small yet very impactful update. I think this has been needing for a long time. Basically with this update, if you have any loose mods, I've done a lot of videos to show you how you can pick up mods in different areas to pick up a lot of different mod grinds, etc. Well, if you were crafting something, whatever those mods were made out of, they could have been made out of steel, they could have been made out of black titanium. If you didn't have enough of those particular resources, it would automatically scrap those mods. And if you weren't paying attention, you could lose a lot of your great mods, whether it's a calibrated, a jetpack, things along them lines. They would just automatically get scrapped. So moving forward, they're not going to be auto-scrappable anymore. Now, you can still go in and manually scrap them. So if you just want the materials, you can still do that. But now we don't have to worry about accidentally scrapping some really good mods whenever we're either repairing something or crafting something. So this is a pretty good update. So here's another good update, the carry weight. They've actually addressed this carry weight. There was a lot of people that had secondary characters where they just sat there and dumped all of their junk onto them. And they could basically have backup characters that had 20, 30, 40,000 pounds of stuff on them. Whether it was extra junk, extra weapons, anything basically, extra aid. So moving forward, they actually put a cap on that. You can still go over your carry weight, but you can only go 1,500 pounds over your carry weight. Once you have over 1,500 pounds of your existing carry weight, you can't go any higher. What they mean about existing carry weight, if you got a carry weight of 400, you can go 1,500 pounds above that, so a total of 1,900. So this is going to really have a huge effect on all those item dupers. If you're currently over that amount, you're going to be able to keep the items you currently have, but you won't be able to add to your inventory. Now, another big thing is cap stashes. I've done a lot of videos on doing different cap stash grinds where you go up, grab as many consolidated cap stashes as possible, log out of the server, log back in, and repeat the process, thus essentially being able to get almost unlimited caps. Saying unlimited because the limit you can hold at any one time is 25,000. Well, moving forward, what they did was they've kept the cap stashes in, but they've actually been turned into containers. So just like any other container, you can grab the caps out of it. The stash apparently doesn't disappear. We'll test this out once the servers are back up. But you can only grab that cap stash once per day. On top of that, if you have the Cap Collector perk card, this is going to work a lot like the other perk cards where you can research the container. Search it a second time to give you the potential of grabbing up more caps. They did this with food. They've done this with like stim packs and first aid containers as well. So that's a huge change on how that's going to work. So the Cap Collector perk card is still going to have value, giving you the opportunity to search those stashes a second time, but you're no longer going to be able to just grind this all day long. Now, another update is something we've been asking for a long time. We're going to finally be able to see what plans and recipes we already know whenever we're in the menu, so we don't inadvertently buy the same plan or recipe twice from vendors. Another interesting thing is it seems like those recipes and plans from vendors are no longer going to be random. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. I guess we'll see, because in the past you used to be able to randomly get really good plans or recipes like jetpacks and stuff like that from the Watoga vendors. So I'm not sure how big of an effect this is going to have as far as those plans go. If they're not random, they're going to be reliably there each and every time. I guess that essentially means that there won't be any plans that are that rare. I guess we'll have to find out. Now, that's really most of what I noticed that was really intriguing. Other than that are a few small things. You'll be able to get some Ultrasight Power Armor plans through Belly of the Beast, which those were never really that hard to come by. Another effect is completing a round in Monster Mash will only give you 100 XP versus 350. That's not going to have a real impact. We really went there to just kill the enemies, not really get the XP from the rounds themselves. Other than that, here it talks a little bit about the Cap Collector perk card. Again, you're just going to be able to search those stashes a second time, but still only once per day. They also fixed an exploit that caused the Curator perk card to give you a 2-hour buff instead of a 1-hour buff, or essentially twice the buff it was supposed to give you. And Traveling Pharmacy, I guess there was a carry weight issue that I don't think I've ever personally experienced or never noticed, but they addressed that as well. And the list goes on and on. There's a bunch of small things that they fixed. Hopefully it fixes the overall experience of the game. Those were just some of the highlights that I noticed that were worth mentioning. If you guys noticed anything else in this patch that was really intriguing to you, let us know down in the comments. I hope this video was helpful, and if you found it helpful, please smash that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you all next time.